Really great to see you all, and thank you very much, Rich, for inviting me. I think this is a topic I'm really excited to talk about. Is tape and object storage working together to fulfill the promise of the hybrid cloud. Who is Cloudian? We are a maker of object storage systems and software. So we are entirely object storage. We do some file as well, but we're primarily S3 compatible object storage is what we do for a living. And we were actually a development partner with Fujifilm in developing the software they use for moving data between object storage and tape. So we have some previous association and working together to solve this exact problem of getting object storage and tape together to fulfill the promise of the hybrid cloud. So what that means to you is think about what's in the cloud, right? What's inside there. We've talked about this a couple times already today, but you guys know the story. You've got compute, which is EC2. You've got storage, which is S3, which I think of as being a primary storage environment. And then you got extended storage, which is the Glacier environment. This is what's in there. So if you can replicate everything that's in there, and you can do it the same way, and you can do it with the same tools and the same software, you can now have your own cloud which operates the same way. And that is, in fact, what we are enabling along with Fujifilm, is that end-to-end environment that provides you with a cloud-like infrastructure of your very own. Under your control, you own the data, you control the costs. Obviously, this is a huge industry-wide effort, so it's good to just think about how this works end-to-end. IBM has bet the farm on OpenShift as being the compute side of this for them. VMware has bet the farm on Tanzu, which is their Kubernetes environment. And then also you've got AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure with their infrastructure devices that sit on-prem and do that. So AWS Outposts provides you with a cloud compute platform for anywhere, for a retail location, for an office, it's not a data center device. It's a little server-like box that can run anywhere. Google Cloud Edge, same thing. Azure Stack, same thing. You've got a compute environment that looks and acts like the cloud, except you can run it anywhere. What's interesting about all these devices, though, is none of them has storage built in. They have storage that's RAM, but they don't have anything that's persistent. None of them has hard drives. None of them has any kind of capacity storage. So for that, they'll be relying on external devices. And so we are providing, the S3 compatible storage environment. We're part of the Azure Stack catalog. We're going to be on AWS Marketplace alongside the AWS Outposts. We already work with VMware. You can Google Tanzu and Cloudian, and find information about that. We have major customers that have set OpenShift as being their direction, so we're qualified with OpenShift with those customers. This is something that's happening right now that we're fully in bed with, working with all these parties to make sure we have a seamless solution. Similarly with Fujifilm, as I mentioned already, we were a dev partner in that software that manages data in between the S3 compatible storage environment and that backend tape environment. And one of the speakers mentioned this morning, said this is the ideal way to use tape because it's so easy. You just store your data in an S3 environment, which has now become one of the most widely used APIs in the world, and you can just move it off to tape transparently. There's no special coding or development required. And we have proven this out with Fujifilm through a year plus of dev effort that is already completed and is already rolled out into the marketplace. So we got an end-to-end infrastructure here, which is proven. Works right out of the box with all kinds of options on the front end, options on the back end, and of course, there's other S3 storage guys out there as well. So this is a growing and vibrant ecosystem. What's really exciting about this is what fulfills the promise of the hybrid cloud, because what you want the hybrid cloud to do is to give you flexibility. Right? You want the portability to be able to reuse software, tools, training. People skills are really hard to get. So if you can get people that know how to run cloud infrastructure, you can now use those wherever it makes sense. The flexibility to use the best infrastructure. You can size the infrastructure to the problem as opposed to fitting the problem to whatever infrastructure is available. and you can locate that infrastructure wherever you need it. This is the ultimate world for you because you still have the cloud. That's still there as something that's perfectly viable and ready to use, but you've also got options that can operate exactly the same way. That's, in fact, what's going on with object storage right now. It can be as fast as you want it to be. All we need to do is to apply the technologies that make it that way. So, caching front ends, caching small amounts of data that are likely to be reused, obvious storage trick, time-honored. Tiering. We offer all flash devices ourselves, but we can also tier from flash off to HDD, and then obviously off to tape as well. But tiering is something which is a great way to provide a performance boost, and we can do it all within a single environment. So the tiering management is done completely transparent to the users, no need to manage it separately. And then finally, get a proven solution end to end with Fujifilm. So now you can operate across disk, flash, and tape, all in one seamless workflow that's transparent to you, right? You can set your storage policies, and the users will never know the difference because the data is just being managed on the back end. So what this all lets you do is optimize the outcomes, deliver the best result to your company, and build the hybrid cloud environment because we're the ones that bring the cloud to you. Thank you.